how you doing today? Dr. Shannon Irvin here. Thank you for jumping in live with me. I had to finish up a podcast interview, so I was a moment late. So I'm super excited to be here with you today. If you're catching this on the replay, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking all about mastering your mind to master your business, slowing down so that you can speed up. And I want to talk to you about the one thing that you need to make sure that is happening in your mind and in your life in order to get your business to the next level. So if we don't know each other, my name is Dr. Shannon Irvin. I help entrepreneurs tap into the power of their mind to grow and scale their business. And I believe that you are the creator of your thoughts. Background in neuropsychology shows me that this operating system of your mind is your number one competitive advantage, and only 3% of the top earners really do tap into that, but you can. You have everything you need within you right now to have every piece of your success come to you, but you got to learn how to take your thoughts off autopilot and tap in to the power of your brain. So I want to know who's on with me live. Please comment in the comments. Let me know you're here. And I would love some loves and shares. If you want to help others become the thinker of their thoughts and tap into the power of their brain, I'd love for you to share this live video. If you're catching it on the replay, please say hashtag replay so that I know you're here. And if you have any questions at all during the entire time we're together, if you're catching it on the replay or you're live, I will be back to answer them. So I said there's one thing, I'm going to put this up here so I can make sure I see you guys, that is powerful that you need to have in order to really grow and scale your business, that so many entrepreneurs do not have and do not really pay attention to. Good morning, Cecilia. Good to see you again. Zahara, I hope you're back in. I know I jumped in a little bit late, so hopefully you're here. And everybody who's here, jump in the chat so I know that you're here and I can say hello to you. And so here we are. So yesterday I jumped into one of my private groups and talked about this subject. Jocelyn, you're so cute. I got my pen and paper ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when we're talking about thinking, training our thoughts, bringing our thoughts off autopilot, what I see in entrepreneurs all the time, and I definitely was there, is this idea of hope. Okay. Yes, I'm going to go into these places of hope and belief and how that interacts in the power of your mind. So there's a big difference between hoping that your business grows, thinking that it might, but not being sure, and believing that it is done. So our brain is wired in such a way that what you think and repeat on a regular basis over and over again in your thoughts combined with emotion becomes a belief that gets programmed in your subconscious. And here's the thing. You cannot outperform your subconscious mind. So if you've believed in your subconscious mind because you've repeated over and over and over again that I'm not sure if I have what it takes, what will people think? I'm not sure I have enough value. I'm going to be judged. I'm not sure. Will I be successful? I hope so. Well, what you're doing is you're programming these automatic negative thoughts and not consciously, right? Because you've had your thinking on autopilot. Super normal. A lot of people never ever do this work of neurohacking or taking your thoughts off autopilot and really tapping into the power of your operating system in your brain. But that's what's going on. So once it gets hardwired into your subconscious, it's no different than how I talk about this a lot and people are like, seriously? It's no different than, think about when you go brush your teeth. You don't have to think about it at all, right? You pick up the toothbrush, you put the toothpaste on. You are not thinking about those steps. You are just on autopilot and you're brushing your teeth. If you go and use the non-dominant hand tonight when you brush your teeth, you will see that this is true. Like you've had to think about every step because it was different than before. Our brain is set up to become very processed and automatic because we use so much of our energy consuming thoughts and then thinking and acting upon those thoughts that our brain is a masterful system and it hardwires these things. So it hardwires those automatic negative thoughts. So if you have a hope and a desire but not necessarily a solid committed belief that you're going to grow your business. And then you have these automatic negative thoughts. Well, you have a programmed pathway in your subconscious. Here's the thing. You make 80 to 90% of your decisions every day based on your subconscious programming. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel overwhelmed. That's why you feel like you get so close and then you procrastinate, or you get so close and then you sabotage, because first of all, your brain's trying to bring you back to what's familiar, and what you've programmed it to think is those automatic negative thoughts until now, until today. I really want you to jump into the thinking that you are the creator of your thoughts. What we know from neuroscience is that your thinking conscious brain, the one I'm talking to you right now with and the one you're listening with, is the boss. And your subconscious job isn't to be the boss. It's to automate everything you tell it that you want to see happen, categorize it as a belief, automate it, and then make more of that happen for you. But if you don't have your thinking on off autopilot, then whatever your automatic negative thoughts are, all those self-limiting beliefs, all those internal self-criticisms, anytime you've taken a risk in business and it hasn't panned out the way you wanted it to, and you've told yourself things about that, or the reality is we all have thoughts and beliefs combined together as a story in our mind. Thoughts and emotions, combine as a story in our mind, and that's what gets programmed. So we think, our subconscious thinks in stories. So you have a story about money, about your ability to earn it or not to earn it, and what it means and its value and its connection to your worth. You have a story about what success means or doesn't mean. You have a story about what failure means and doesn't mean. And it's all connected to worth and identity. And if you've never questioned those stories, if you've never really taken your thoughts off autopilot, then those automatic stories that you're repeating on a regular basis are running your daily actions and decisions. So what does that have to do with belief? So belief is different than I believe I can. I hope I can. I really want it. That is hope. That's not belief. But belief is white hot. It's burn the bridges, 100%, all or nothing, on fire. There is no other possibility other than this happening. That's belief. I believe I can breathe. Okay. Like that's belief. And there's a part of our mind. Remember, our mind wants to keep us safe and familiar. Well, what becomes safe and familiar is what you repeat on a regular basis. So you're believing something today, whether it's on automatic pilot or not. And the reality is you are the thinker of your thoughts. You are the creator of your thoughts. And so you can create that belief. And it starts with the idea of where do you want to go in your business, and when you think about what that is, and I would love to hear, hi Heather, good to see you. What I would love to hear from you is, what's your big business dream, your big goal right now? And we can do this more realistically versus conceptually, because I would much rather talk to you realistically than conceptually. So I see Jocelyn's here. I see Trisha's here. Thank you for sharing. And I see Kevin. Good to see you. And Heather. So here's the thing, and I'll use my own business. So there's nothing I love more than having entrepreneurs realize they're the creator of their thoughts, begin to prime their brain. This is different than positive affirmations, which are fine and good, but they don't prime your brain. We need to build neural networks. 100K in 3 months. Love it, Trisha. Okay. So Trisha and I are going to jam out right now, and you can see how this, pertains to you and your big goal and your big vision right now. So Trisha, right now in your mind, I want to bring your hubby home too. Sorry. I want to bring him home too. Okay. 100K in 3 months. What are we going to do to get there? Can you tell me how you will serve other people to get there? Not the breakdown of how many and this and that, but what are you doing in your business to serve people? So that I would love to know, because we want to put it in terms, when we're telling our brain what we want it to bring to us, we need to picture it, not just positive words. We need to picture it with depth, with emotion, viscerally, where we're smelling it, where we're hearing it, where we're feeling it. And that is what we do in brain priming. And it's something that I take all my clients and students through, removing the negative self-beliefs and limiting thoughts and stories. That's a process. You cannot leave those. Here's what a lot of people want to do while I'm waiting for Trisha to let me know that. What a lot of people want to do is just ignore those voices and just go to the brain priming. And trust me, I prefer that too. I don't like dealing with the negative voices, but if it's like this, you're driving a car and you have your foot on the gas, that's you driving towards your goal. And all that negative automatic programming, if you don't get rid of it, it's like you just have the other foot slammed on the brake and you're trying to go at the same time. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You might get somewhere, but it's not going to be anywhere near if you take your foot off the brake, get rid of those limiting beliefs, have a process. Our brains are very systematic and processed. So there is a process for removing those. And that's something that I teach my students in the Epic Success Academy and all my clients, because having that process, it's a mind matrix process where you recognize that limiting belief, that story, and then you start to record it, and then you refute it, and you put it on trial, and then you rewire it. That process allows you to become truly the creator of your thoughts and never allow another limiting self-belief to sabotage you again. Okay, so I see that she wrote, sorry, there is a time delay, so if it seems like you've answered and I haven't gotten to you, that's why. Creating massive transformation in female entrepreneurs' health, love it, with small lifestyle and nutritional shifts, getting rid of brain fog for good. Yes and amen. We should have you come and chat with my tribe about that, because there's a huge connection between health and the way your brain operates. I won't go on a tangent as much as I want to, but maybe Trisha, you and I can jam out about that sometime. So, love this. So Trisha, we want to remove the limiting beliefs, right? We've got to do that. That's a separate thing. But for you in this brain priming and belief on this subject today, I want you to start to think about so you've got 100K in 3 months. That equates to a certain amount of people that you're helping. And if you can keep the energy on the people that you're helping, because money is just an energy. It's just a transference. And that's, tomorrow I'm actually going to be talking about money mindset, how to break down the stories that you've developed for yourself around money so that you can be free from that connection between money and worth. Because a lot of us as entrepreneurs connect what we earn with who we are and our value in the world. And here's the reality, Trisha, and everybody who's running their business is the more you serve, the deeper you serve, the more generous you are, the more you believe in the transformation of your clients, and that is what you're in for, then I love it. You have an answer already. I love that. Then the reality is that exchange, that energetic exchange, which is money, it comes back. It just comes back. And so we'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't want to take a side turn, but come back tomorrow and we'll talk all about money mindset and how to get rid of those limiting money stories. So 444 people per month in your membership. Love it. Did the math. You are a numbers girl and a systems girl like me. I love that so much. So here's the thing. I want you 444 new members per month. Totally doable. I want you to picture one of your best success stories. Can you do that for me? Just, you can give her a pseudonym or him a pseudonym, or you can say their name, but just a first name of the person that you're just like, they got it. They did the work. They implemented. They had massive transformation. And now you're seeing them just fly. You're seeing them just have, huge shifts. Okay. So you've got somebody in your mind. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to start to picture in your mind what it looks like to have 444 of her or him every month. I want you to imagine the transformation that you see happening. And I close my eyes because that's kind of how I have to do it. I see it in my mind's eye. By the way, we're all different in that area. So if you start to do this work and you are like, I can't see anything, I can't hear anything, it's baby steps. That's part of what I take people through. We're all wired a little bit differently. We are unique snowflakes in a certain sense, and then in other ways we're not. So some of us are kinesthetic. This is probably, you know this, Trisha, for the work you do. Some of us are not. So some of us are more in our body and some of us are more in our mind. And typically when we're brain priming, that there's a difference there. But you imagine what it feels like to see that transformation in that one person. What it sounds like when you're hearing their testimony, and look into their life and see the impact of their family and their kids and how they're showing up in the world and the impact that they're making. And like, where are you when you're receiving this? Like, are you in your office? Are you, seeing that and hearing that and imagining and feel the physical feeling in your heart of knowing that transformation is coming to pass. It's here. It's already, and you're seeing it, Trisha, and everybody else who's listening, on the beach. I love it. Me too. I'm a beach girl. That's exactly where I do most of my priming, actually, every single morning and evening. So see it, feel it, smell that salt air, right? Taste it. All of the senses get involved. And again, we're moving toward generosity and how we're transforming and how we're impacting. And then you're just seeing it like a ripple effect, that it's already done. Like, stay in that space of belief that it's done. It's already happening. Who are you spending your time with? Who are you being? What's the person? What's the Trisha that has 500 new members every month? Who is she? How is she showing up? What things is she doing? How is she showing up? And really just stay in that and allow more and more of that detail to come on. And here's the thing. Your brain does not know the difference between that actually happening and then how you're reacting to it versus imagining it, priming it into your brain with depth, emotion, senses on a daily basis. Here's the great thing. Your brain does not know the difference. We've done brain scans and we can see comparatively the exact same centers of the brain lighting up. So your brain doesn't know the difference. So what's going to get you there faster? Not doing this and hoping that it happens, or priming your brain every single day, literally walking into your future every single day and telling your brain, this is what it feels like. This is what it's like. This is what is happening for me. This is who's showing up. This is how I'm being. This is who I am. And now your brain goes, oh, well, I know this. This is safe and familiar. I've been here a lot of times. I can absolutely do this. And so what happens, now I'm going to get a little sciencey on you. So it's not just having a positive thought every once in a while. It's truly doing this work of training your brain. Like Trisha, you train people's bodies and their minds to eat differently. And it's the same thing. You're training your mind to know what the success looks like, feels like, tastes like, seems like, who you are, who you're with, what you're doing, who you're being. There, from that place, now what's possible? What's possible in your life? Now your mind feels safe and familiar with what you've told it to be true, that it's already done and you've told it that's truth, and you're staying in that. And now what you're doing, if you're repeating this on a regular basis, it takes about 21 days for a neural network to be built, 67 for it to be automatic. So this is a daily practice. One of the very best daily business practices you could ever do. Doesn't take hours. You can spend hours. There are people who do spend hours, but I'm telling you, you can spend 10 minutes. So it's 10 minutes every day, priming like this, getting your brain so familiar. So what happens is, remember how we talked about those negative beliefs combined with emotions get stored as negative thoughts combined with emotions get stored as a belief, right? And then your brain automates that and brings more of it to you. Well, guess what happens when you do this on a daily basis? If we remove the limiting beliefs, that's a whole nother piece, right? So we can't do it in a vacuum. We've got to do both, but we're focusing on belief today. If we really focus in on that belief, we do that priming, what we're starting to show our mind is this is my thoughts. This is what's true. Your brain's seeing the emotions, and that gets stored as a belief. Now that belief, even though it hasn't happened yet, that belief, your brain sees it as already done. And your brain says, oh, okay, just like with the negative thoughts, this is what she believes. So I'm going to automate that. I'm going to make that process super easy for her. And then this other part of our system called the reticular activating system, its only job is to bring to you more of what your subconscious has programmed and to filter out the rest. So imagine where you're going to be as you prime your brain and as you give your subconscious the thoughts you want to have it automate, have those thoughts get automated. Then the system starts to filter things in to you. And that's why you hear multiple 6, 7-figure, 8-figure, and I'm using money, but money, remember, is just an energy. It's just a return for value. So, but people with that measure of value, say it's effortless. It's easy because they've primed their brain that it is truth. And then your brain's working for you and bringing more and more of that to you. So it becomes lighter, easier, just automatic because it's what you've already showed your brain over and over again has already happened. I just did a lot of information all at once. So I know that was kind of drinking from a fire hose, but it really stems on this idea. And I'm going to jump back into the comments here in a second, or if you have any questions, but it really stems from, I can't help but quote an actual scripture from Joshua. It says, choose this day what you will believe, and it will be done unto you. Choose this day. Guys, Trisha, everyone, choose. You are the creator of your thoughts. Choose today. What will you believe? Will you believe that this is going to get done? Will you believe that your dreams matter? Will you believe that there are 444 souls out there waiting to be served, waiting to be set free, waiting to be transformed, and you need to show up as the best version of yourself that has already seen it done in your mind? I'm preaching. I know. I can't help myself. Okay. I've got a couple of my students on here and they're like, yes, yes, yes. So belief. I hope today after we get off the call or this live that you are like, oh my gosh, belief is a whole different thing. Belief is being 100% sure of the outcome. It's the idea that it's happening. I am just walking to it. And if you give your brain that gift, if you give this operating system that gift of feeding it what you want it to bring to you in very visual terms, very kinesthetic terms, smelling, tasting, feeling, sensing, who are you with? How are you being? So, a lot of the depth work that we do in the program, that it really will help. And I am going to be doing a masterclass coming up next Wednesday and Thursday to dive deeper into these details. And I'd love to have you there. I'll pop the URL into the comments. It's just drshannonirvin.com/mindpower to get to that sign up. So I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments. Baby steps, Zahara says, is true. I had to digest this piece by piece. It truly is. It's just sometimes you can prime your brain, especially if you're very present in your body, it can be a little easier. But I wasn't that kind of person. So I'm a very left brain processor. I'm a systems person. That's why I kind of take the neuroscience approach and neurohack mindset, because I needed a step-by-step process. I would get inspired by a lot of great people that did meditation and did affirmation and did things. They were great, and they certainly made me feel great in the moment and made me feel calmer, but they didn't change the automatic negative thoughts, and they didn't program in the thinking that got me to the next level until I started tapping into this. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching it to entrepreneurs, because you guys have big dreams, big visions, big callings that people are waiting for you to fulfill. And I want to see you step fully into that best version of yourself so those people can get helped and transformed, and then they can continue that and pay it forward. But for me, I had to start with, okay, I can picture that particular number of people in, like that dollar amount in my bank account. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So that's where I started, and I would just start there. And then I'm like, okay, then I would layer another layer to it the next day, and I would kind of combine those, and then I'd add the next layer. So if that's you, then it's just baby steps. And it's great because your mind the whole time is taking it in as truth. It's taking it in as truth. So it's building. It's definitely building. Okay. Oh, Marva, I'm glad it's good. Oh, you listen to the episodes. Darlene said, listen to the episodes on your podcast about this. Yeah, I just got done yesterday, dropped the third of a 3-part series all about transforming the negative limiting beliefs, priming your brain, and how to step into this. Thank you, Cecilia. That's very sweet. So Trisha, you're on it. I love it. Yes, I love it. Very good. Repetition is key. And it's something I want you to know, like anything that's of value that transforms your life is it's a habit. It's something you need to do daily. I hope that if you're a client, if you decide to jump into my academy soon, or you start to do this work, that eventually you get to where you get to do this. Like I wake up every day thinking I get to do this. Like I get to choose the success that I'm going to have or not have. And I choose to have my brain do the work for me because I honestly got a little burned out on the striving and the hustle. Not to say that I don't have seasons of I don't want to say hustle, seasons of harder work or longer hours or things like that. But I love what I do. So to me, it's not hustle anymore because I've just stepped into the place where it's already done. And I'm just serving from that place, that generosity place that just fuels that part of your brain that brings it to you. Yeah, absolutely, Darlene. You got goosebumps. I love it. And Andrea's a client. Zaharan, should we be doing this in different ways? Like write it down, imagine it, like learning it, hearing it, reading it, doing it. Yeah. So we have different senses. I love that you brought this up. One of the things I do talk about a lot is there's a different part of your brain that processes from it mentally versus written. So what I always encourage is as you're imagining it and you go through that, then after you're done, write it down. And part of our brain priming is actually repeating those things on a daily basis. So there's kind of a 2-part system. So I would say start with the one you most naturally learn with. So if you're more of an auditory learner or a visual learner, then I would do it more in your mind. And then after you're done, transfer it to paper. If you're more of I have to do it to learn it, then I would start to write down everything and then take that written work and then close your eyes and start to do it from there. So start with the sense that works better for you in terms of learning. That's a great question, by the way. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Organized freak over here. I know, me too. And so I'm a step-by-step systems person. So you're always going to learn, even in my Epic Success Academy, we go through this. The first half of it is all about breaking down the limiting beliefs, all those systems around that, and all this brain priming and brain automation training. And then after we get practiced at that, that becomes a daily practice. Then we shift into brain-based approach for setting goals and achieving them because our brain doesn't work the way most goal-setting systems out there are set up. And that's why we get frustrated and we give up. But that's for another day. Oh, you're welcome, Emily. That's really sweet. Okay, so yes, Trisha says yes. I've used all the senses before and it sinks in. My brain gets a workout. Yeah, it's the best kind of workout, and we do burn calories that way, so yay for that. Loved being with you today. If another thought comes up and you want to, let me see if I can put this in here before we jump off. If you want to come back and ask questions, feel free to do that. Excuse me for not looking at you for just a minute. I am putting in the link. Hopefully it shows up. There it is. To the live. Hi. Good to see you, Nasirma. I put in the link for the master training. It's coming up. There's like 4 different master training sessions. It's Wednesday and Thursday next week. I would love to have you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be live. We're going to do a lot of this kind of action. So it's going to be really great to be able to see all the parts of neurohacking and how it can really tap into the very best version of yourself and start to bring success to you. We're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to be talking about money blocks, all the things around money, how it flows and how it can flow easily and effortless to you once we get rid of those stories that are hardwired in our subconscious so that it can break free and be released to serve the people that you need to serve, that you've been called to serve. And it can in turn back to, I always talk about it being a flow. It comes in and to and through me. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. So if there have been some money issues, if you've struggled with money, if at any point in time you have connected your performance and what you put out in the world and the return of money validating that as value, then you need to show up tomorrow, because I want those chains to be broken for you. And I want you to be able to release those money stories once and for all. But loved being on with you live. If you're catching me on the replay, let me know your questions. I will be jumping back in all day. And I just want to leave you with this one thought. Maybe it's two. You are the creator of your thoughts. So choose what you believe today. All right. Bye for now. See you next time.